Why does modern medicine seem so good at managing diseases but not curing them? It's a question many people quietly wonder. If science can send robots to Mars and edit genes in a lab, why do millions of people still take lifelong medicines for diabetes, high blood pressure, asthma, or arthritis? Why are there treatments that control illness but so few that eliminate it completely? The answer isn't a simple conspiracy or a hidden secret. The real reasons are scientific, biological, economic, and deeply connected to how the human body works. Let's start with the biggest shift in global health. 100 years ago, the leading causes of death were infectious diseases like tuberculosis, smallpox, and bacterial pneumonia. These illnesses had clear single causes: germs. Once scientists discovered antibiotics and vaccines, many of these diseases could be cured or prevented entirely. But today, the biggest health challenges are chronic diseases. Conditions like diabetes, heart disease, autoimmune disorders, cancer, and mental health illnesses don't come from a single invading microbe. They develop slowly, often over years, and involve a mix of genetics, lifestyle, aging, immune system changes, and environmental exposure that makes them far harder to cure. Take type 2 diabetes as an example. It's not just high blood sugar. It involves insulin resistance, changes in fat metabolism, inflammation, pancreatic cell stress, and sometimes genetic predisposition. A medicine can lower glucose levels, but reversing all the underlying biological changes permanently is much more complex. Now consider cancer. Cancer is not one disease, it is hundreds of different diseases. Each cancer type can have multiple genetic mutations, different growth patterns, and different responses to treatment. A therapy that works for one patient may fail for another. This complexity makes a universal cure extremely difficult. Another factor is the risk involved in cures. A true cure often means permanently changing how the body functions. This might involve gene editing, stem cell therapy, or reprogramming the immune system. These approaches are promising, but they also carry long term risks. Regulators must ensure that a cure doesn't cause more harm than the disease itself. That's why curative treatments take longer to develop and approve. There's also an economic reality, but it's more nuanced than people assume. Developing any new drug costs billions of dollars and can take more than a decade. Most experimental treatments fail before reaching patients. Chronic disease drugs often build on existing science and are more predictable to develop. This makes them less risky investments compared to experimental cures that may or may not succeed. However, this does not mean cures are being ignored. In fact, major investments are being made in gene therapy, regenerative medicine, immunotherapy, and precision medicine. Some blood cancers, once considered fatal, now have curative treatments using advanced immune therapies. Gene therapies are already curing certain rare inherited diseases. But these treatments are still expensive, technically challenging, and not yet widely accessible. Another ugly truth is that many chronic diseases are closely linked to lifestyle and environment. Poor diet, lack of exercise, stress, pollution, and poor sleep all contribute to disease development. Medicine can prescribe pills, but it cannot fully control how people live. Without addressing these root causes, even the best treatment cannot always produce a permanent cure. Prevention also plays a role. Healthcare systems often focus more on treating disease than preventing it. Public health measures like nutrition, education, pollution control, and early screening can reduce disease rates, but these solutions require long term societal effort, not just medical breakthroughs. So, the reality is this: modern medicine treats disease because, in many cases, treatment is what science can safely and reliably offer right now. Curing complex chronic conditions is one of the hardest challenges in biology. It requires time, research, and breakthroughs that are still evolving. The hopeful part is that we are closer to true cures than ever before. Advances in genetics, biotechnology, and personalized medicine are opening doors that didn't exist a generation ago. Until then, treatment is not a failure. It is a bridge, keeping people alive, functioning, and hopeful, while science continues working toward a future where more diseases can truly be cured.